I was wondering if you could play that song again.
Which one, man?
The one that goes bee boo boo bop boo boo beep.
No, man, you're thinking of beep boo boo bop boo boo bop.
WEGL.
And now for the number one song in Bikini Bottom, Electric Zoo.
Auburn.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Gain practical experience with emerging technology and equipment not found in the civilian world. The Army National Guard can get you started in an array of STEM-related career fields such as information technology, communication systems, special forces engineers, technical engineering, air traffic control, and chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear science. Get a head start on your career in an exciting new field while earning money to pay for college, all while serving in your own community. Log on to NationalGuard.com or talk to a recruiter in your area to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Want to help pull the plug on cyber?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM, Auburn's premier home for student radio since 1971. That is over 50 years now. I'm your host, Jack Hart, alongside my colorman, Davis Carroll, and we'd like to welcome in our listeners and viewers from around the Auburn-Opelika Megaplex and around the world, however you may be tuning in today, whether that be on your terrestrial radio antenna through the information superhighway at weglfm.com or watching our live stream on our YouTube page on youtube.com. You can also catch our podcast anywhere you get your podcast. I listen on Spotify, but you can also look on Transistor FM for all of the options available to you. But however you are listening today, we are happy to have you in the booth with us for Auburn's only student-run drive time morning show. And now broadcasting live from the Bradley Basin WEGL studios in the Harold Melton Student Center on the campus of Auburn University, where it is a partly cloudy 73 degrees outside this fine Wednesday morning on this first day of September. It's Compact Discourse. We wish you a most sincere good morning as we get on with the show. Davis, how are you feeling? How are you doing on this first day of September, this fine Wednesday morning?
Feeling pretty good, especially that it wasn't pouring rain walking here today.
It was a nice change of pace after it rained pretty much all day yesterday, and we had to deal with it. So, looking forward to the sunshine today. However, it may not last long, as I will get to later in the show, as we are still dealing with the run-on effects from Hurricane and now Tropical Storm Ida. At this point, I would like to remind our audience that at any point in the next 2 hours you feel so inclined to ask a question, drop a hot take, or in the unlikely event that we get something wrong, you can go ahead and correct us. You can call in at 334-844-WEGL. That's 334-844-9345. You can also shoot us a tweet at CDiscAU. That's at CDISCAU. And our dedicated team of call screeners will handle your inquiry. I might be a little more likely to get to that Twitter. It's a little one less thing in my hand to deal with this morning. So we are excited to get into the show. As always, we're going to start off with a few campus announcements, as we like to do. So as I'll switch over to the two-camera view, so you can see me and Davis this morning, and you can also see Twitter handle and some of the places you can listen to our podcast. So if you're watching on the video stream, please enjoy the two-camera view. And if you're listening in your car or on your computer, head over to YouTube, search for WGL 91.1, and check out our YouTube live stream. You can also rewatch the show at any point throughout the day, pause, rewind, go back, all that good stuff. So be sure to check out our YouTube page if you want to get more of all things Compact Discourse. All right, so taking a look at the campus news, we have once again Auburn launching their DEI website for diversity, equity, and inclusion resources. The webpage is auburn.edu/inclusion. It provides access to resources for current and prospective students, faculty, staff, parents, and alumni. The page was created to serve as a vehicle for the university's ongoing commitment to embracing all members of the Auburn family while making sure everyone feels welcome as students return to campus for the fall semester. If you want to know more about that, you can obviously go to auburn.edu/inclusion. Something else to get excited about coming up this weekend. Not only is it a college football Saturday, which we will get to later in the show, it is also the debut of the Auburn University PSA, or the little commercial that gets played during football games and on the big board before football games in Jordan-Hare Stadium. You might even hear an audio version here on WEGL, as we've done in the past. So we are looking at that getting debuted this weekend during the football game on television. But quick preview of what's coming up. It will debut on Facebook on Friday, September 3rd. I got my lines mixed up there. It's going to be spotlighting Auburn's work in the 3 areas focused on cutting-edge technology and the university's upward and forward movement. So it looks like aviation, one of those Boston Dynamics dogs. You know what I'm talking about, Davis?
The ones that can do crazy jumps and flips and stuff.
Yeah, the yellow ones with the backwards knees that kind of always look like they're a little nervous.
I'm not convinced those are real yet. I still haven't seen one in person.
Well, there was one at my job this past summer, and
was it doing flips?
I never saw it move. It was always just kind of in a crumpled heap in the corner.
I think it's just there to scare you. I don't think they actually do all those jumps and flips and tricks.
All right, and then I think it looks like some kind of botany going on there. Someone's growing some plants with some gloves. So 3 things Auburn excels at, including aviation and agricultural department. So if you're watching the football game, that is September 4th, this Saturday, Auburn is playing Akron, of course, on ESPN+. If you want to watch it on TV, if you're not in Jordan-Hare Stadium, be sure to look out for the In Auburn, that's the name of it, PSA, that's launching on Facebook but being debuted during the football game. Also, Auburn University COVID expert Dr. Fred Cam, has provided another video update on the COVID-19 situation. If you want to go to your This Week at AU email or the University COVID-19 Resource Center, you can watch the video from Dr. Fred Cam. He's giving just an update discussing how when you know it's time to get tested and the best way to get a COVID-19 test, and as well as why it's important to self-report. Excuse me, I have a little cough today, so please be patient with that. All right, and then lastly, something we discussed ad nauseum yesterday, but apparently 4,000 Tiger cards still need to be added to Tiger wallets, Apple wallets, Android wallets, Google wallets, BlackBerry wallets, any kind of digital secure wallet, or the university will continue to pester us about the fact that it is not done yet. And, of course, this is a public service announcement to remind you that if you're interested in going to the football game on Saturday or any athletic event throughout the course of the year, whether that be to go see Suni Lee this spring in gymnastics or checking out Auburn volleyball, if you want to see our WEGL team call that from the sidelines, you are going to need not only a Tiger card, you're going to need that Tiger card physically from the Get app inserted into your Apple wallet. That's called provisioned, quote unquote, by the university. So if you see that term thrown around, that is what they mean. They want it in your Apple wallet. And they're bothering me a little bit in my email because it's not technically in my Apple wallet, because I put it in there when I need it to, and I take it out when I don't need it. So the university's a little mad at me for not having.
You're one of the 4,000.
I am. They keep bothering me about it in my email. I'm like, I understand what they want from me, but I don't think it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make at the moment.
You just don't like a passcode on your phone that much?
I really don't. It's the muscle memory. I haven't had one for years, and it's too late to learn. I mean, I obviously I need one when I get a job and all that, but I want to enjoy my last year of freedom without one.
Okay, well,
they're trying to take it from me.
That's that. Can't really do much about that.
All right, moving on to your Auburn, Alabama weather report. Right now it's 73 degrees, mostly cloudy. Was outside, can confirm that is indeed true. The high of 85 today, low of 69, so a little bit cooler than what we've been seeing in the past 2 weeks we've been doing this show, not getting up to 90 today, and that is because of the clouds and the rain that will be coming later on this afternoon. So this morning there's only a 4% chance of rain, but as the clock ticks on, so will the chance of rain. The clouds are going to continue to stay here for the afternoon, where it's going to be 22% chance of rain and 84. This evening it's going to cool way off down to 72, but we will have a 60% chance of rain and some scattered thunderstorms as Ida continues to spread its arms and across the southeast. Of an overnight temperature, it's going to be cloudy with a 15% chance of rain. So not quite out of it yet, as Ida is still sticking around. It looks like Ida is kind of in that area where Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia, Tennessee, and North Carolina all come together in the Appalachian Mountains. So continuing to cause thunderstorms across the southeast is Tropical Depression Ida. All right, well, I think that's all of the housekeeping out of the way. So let's jump right into the fun stuff, including something we briefly touched on yesterday, but as the day went on, more and more and more information continued to pour out about it. And that is, if you'll bear with me here, the fact that Img Academy, which is it's a high school down in Florida, which really is a specialty sports school. They field one of the best football teams in the country year in and year out, because that's what the school is designed to do. IMG is a sports broadcasting company, and so the explicit purpose of the school is to field competitive sporting teams. They were on an ESPN showcase over the weekend against another team, allegedly from Columbus, Ohio, but it has come to light that this team is not from Columbus, Ohio. In fact, they're not really from anywhere. And the story continues to unravel the deeper you go down. So, this team is known as Bishop Sycamore. And, I mean, honestly, Davis, that's about the only concrete piece of evidence we can figure out about this team.
There was a player that they were able to interview that kind of gave the rundown on what was happening a little bit. Apparently all the players knew was they were told that this is a brand new school and they should get on the bus pretty soon so they can get something like the Img Academy of Columbus, what they were told.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just literally lived in one of the coaches' houses, all the players, for a few weeks, and there was no money coming in, there was no food, so they had to go steal food from stores and stuff. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, so just a few bullet points about this team, Bishop Sycamore. This is coming from Schlosser on Twitter, who is a YouTube personality. So ESPN could not verify who any of their players were in the scouting databases, any of them. Most of the players were JUCO dropouts who were 19 years old and older. So Img Academy, with a bunch of 17-year-olds, beat this team of effectively grown men. At least one player was using a fake name and lied about recruiting. Their address, the school address, is listed as a residential house, which is probably that house you were talking about. Their head coach, of course, has an active arrest warrant for his arrest. And
what's that? Have they said what the warrant is?
I don't know. No.
I'm going to look into that.
It has no record of existing in OSHA, which I know as Occupational Health and Safety Association, but I assume is Ohio's form of the athletic association. They're based out of a Texas league, and they're still scheduled to play Duncanville on September 10th.
I think all those might have got canceled by now.
I feel like they might have gotten wise to the situation.
Out pretty quick. The coach has a warrant for a failure to appear in court for a domestic violence case.
Interesting. So we also have a picture of the roster that they gave ESPN as a spotting board for the game on Sunday night.
Interesting.
And it looks less professional than some of the stuff we use here at WEGL.
I've been given stuff like that when I was in high school. They just scribble it down and give it to me. So I mean, I guess if it's the ESPN game, it should be a little bit better than that.
Yeah. So they have they have played games in the past. It's not like this was cobbled together just explicitly for this game. I mean, it kind of was, considering this is how high school teams make their money, is getting a big check to play on ESPN. But this Bishop Sycamore, a lot of people are piecing together games they have played in the past, including a bizarre game where both teams wore all black uniforms in Pennsylvania over this weekend. But there's very little, a very sparse paper trail of this team existing long before 2 weeks ago.
They've nuked their website. The number list on Max Preps goes straight to voicemail and doesn't say Bishop Sycamore like I hoped it would.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty weird.
Their website is hosted on Blogspot, if you can believe that.
So, like, do you have something else real quick?
I mean, I'm looking for some more interesting stuff. Some of this stuff's kind of boring.
What's I know it's supposed to be allegedly a money laundering scheme. I know they're still looking at that, but I'm not sure how exactly. I guess if it's a fake business, you can launder money through that, but it wasn't very effective. How are they making money from this?
Well, I think they're trying to get it off the ground and being a little sneaky in doing so, just hoping nobody would check up, and it looks like it's worked so far. Because, I mean, if you schedule a team and they show up in a school bus with players, you just assume they came from a high school.
Yeah.
We've also seen pretty funny videos of players sharing the same helmet. When they make a substitution, one just tosses the helmet to the other one. So we're basically looking at a school that isn't a school, does not belong to an education system, has unknown player status, doesn't have a home stadium, doesn't have a website, and no voicemail. Is what we learned yesterday.
There is a number to call, but it doesn't do anything.
But apparently they played a ton of good teams in the past and have a ton of good prospects right now. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Interesting.
All right.
This is going to be a crazy 30 for 30 in 10 years.
We are going to head to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about this Bishop Sycamore situation as it continues to unfold. We also have a pretty exciting show lined up for you. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Chris Smith, who is building Auburn University and the surrounding area in Minecraft. He's coming on 8:30. And then I got DJP and Will Root coming on for the second hour to talk music. You aren't going to want to go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You may know me from my work as Scuba, one of the hosts of the hit award-winning show Nerdcore on WEGL 91.1 FM. But what you may not know about me is that I'm a website enthusiast. That's why I'm here to tell you about WeagleFM.com. It's our hotspot on the web with live broadcast articles and more. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. Tune into your favorite shows at any time with a 24/7 online stream right on the homepage. And don't forget to check out the schedule for our station's full selection of music, sports, and talk shows. For the sports fans, there's articles aplenty covering all of the current events in football, basketball, and beyond. For those music fans, WEGL FM has got you covered. We have album and concert reviews and theme playlists for any mood. We even have live musical performances with WEGL Sessions. There's more than enough content here to keep you procrastinated when you really should be studying for that test. That's right, we know you've been slacking off. Get back to it, lazy. So, no matter what sound you're looking for, we've got it only on WeagleFM.com. That's WEGLFM.com and WEGL 91.1 FM, Auburn.
Attention men under the age of 35. You know what really impresses the ladies? When a guy has a few drinks and later gets pulled over for buzz driving. That could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. There goes let's grab dinner and a movie. Oh, I know. You drive more carefully when you're buzzed. You've proven that hundreds of times. A woman admires that kind of confidence. And you've practiced how to speak if a cop does pull you over. Slowly, clearly, and politely like, "Good evening, officer." A woman admires that kind of foresight. And what woman doesn't find it adorable that you call it buzzed even though the law calls it drunk? You could kiss $10,000 goodbye, along with any chance of having a girlfriend. Because nothing says I'm a catch more than a guy who lives in his parents' basement and calls it my place.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll on this first day of September. It is a Wednesday. It is sunny outside, but not for long, so be sure to pack that raincoat if you're making an extended trip out to campus or work today, because the rain is coming this afternoon. All right, we're going to jump right back into our discussion about Bishop Sycamore right after I give a quick plug to the WEGL social media pages. That is at WEGL_AU on Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to check those out. If you're watching our video broadcast on the YouTube page, just look at the sidebars for all of the information you need. They're all right there, so go ahead and go check them out. Aaron, our marketing director, is working super hard to put together some great content. The Instagram is about as cool as it's ever looked in my 5 years here at WEGL, so be sure to check that out, give us a follow, and get excited for the new content that's coming out. Also, I want to bring to your attention that there is an event tonight right here on campus, I think about 30 feet from where we're sitting right now, but above us in the Starbucks in the Harold Melton Student Center. UPC and the Circle are putting together an open mic night. So you may hear some singer-songwriters, you may hear some poems. You never know what you're going to hear. It is an open mic night after all. I might get up there and do some improv. I haven't really worked on my material, though, so we'll see. But I definitely will be there tonight, and I know our dedicated team of sound engineers will be setting that up as well. So if you want to learn about sound engineering, it's also a great opportunity to check that out as well. It's something I'm completely clueless about, and it seems like magic every time I look at it. I also want to give a quick shout-out to Cheetah Print, which is Chris Tobias' show, all things funk, soul, R&B, take you back to the 70s. That's coming on tonight at 8 p.m., however you may be listening to this on WEGLFM.com or the radio. You can listen to Cheetah Print tonight at 8 p.m. with Chris Tobias. That open mic night, by the way, it is at 6:30 upstairs by the Starbucks in the Student Center, and it's going to last until 8:30. So it's going to rain this evening. Come inside, get a coffee, and listen to some open mic night action as UPC and the Circle put together another one of their fabulous events. All right, let's jump back in, Davis. Over the break, you did mention to me that Bishop Sycamore has fired their coach.
Yes, Roy Johnson is his name.
The one that had an arrest warrant.
Yes.
The story keeps getting better.
Also, on their Twitter, there's allegedly a player for them trying to, stating their case, why all the stuff on ESPN isn't true. If you'd like me to read it.
Does it seem like a real player? Does it seem like a real guy, Davis?
He does.
Okay.
I mean, he seems to have more tweets than, he wasn't just made. Let's see, he joined in August 2013, so he's real, I'd say. He said, they're over-exaggerating. I played too. We weren't robbing stores. Their lives were not ruined. They don't care about football. Now, all of a sudden, they are under every post whining. Nobody wants to hear that. And Bishop Sycamore is retweeting all this. The real spill about Bishop Sycamore and COF, in parentheses, because they are two different programs, which is an interesting thing to add, was that it was what you made it. A lot of my former teammates are blaming Roy when in actuality they didn't care about football. They just liked the attention. And we were getting our butts whooped on the field. He's cursing a little bit, so I'm trying to figure out how to censor it.
I mean, the whole thing kind of smacks of a multi-level marketing scheme.
Yeah.
If I can borrow some words from somebody else. It's also kind of been tied to. It seems like this grift has been tried another time in Ohio as well with the Christians of Faith Academy. And as the Twitter investigators continue to dig through this, obviously the story just broke on Sunday and Monday. So people are still looking into it. And I know station manager Grayson, I sicked him on this as well. And he went onto the Wayback Machine to check out what has been going on their website. And it's pretty scanty, the evidence that this college has existed for more than just a few months, because he was unable to find any record of that Bishop Sycamore website existing other than one edition back in earlier this year.
Interesting. This is a gonna be an interesting story once it pans out. Once we find out what's really going on.
Right, because a lot of people are throwing allegations around right now, but I'd like to see when the cream rises to the top and we finally figured out what exactly happened here. It's going to be pretty interesting.
What if
And
it turns out to just be an actual online charter school?
right,
That'd still be a good 30 for 30.
it's pretty unbelievable. Yeah, at the very least, John Boyce will get on this.
Oh, that'd be a good one. I can't wait for a chart party about Bishop Sycamore.
Also, something I noticed and failed to bring up yesterday is that we haven't completely. Have you seen pictures of them playing games?
Yes.
We haven't completely ruled out that they are potentially using the Birmingham Irons jerseys,
Just all black.
all black with silver numbers.
I feel like that's probably the easiest jersey they could get, like the cheapest. They're like, yeah, just give us the all black one. We'll get a little.
Like Academy probably already had those. They didn't
Yeah.
even have to order them.
They just put on the little dude on
The
it.
little knight,
Yeah.
probably a stock image.
It's just like everything about them. So like, it's like just a creative team.
You'd think they would. I don't know. I feel like you'd think they put in a little more effort. Like that sounds pretty like condescending in hindsight, but any bit of scrutiny makes this fall apart. Like, how did you not realize that if you gave ESPN a incomplete and forged roster effectively, that this wasn't going to become a national story?
I think if
Or is that
ES
what you wanted? Did you want to become infamous?
make him infamous.
There you go.
I think that if ESPN hadn't broadcast it, we would have never found out.
I agree. I mean, this really a thought I was having yesterday about this is just how much stuff goes on in the world that isn't up to par if it just goes completely unnoticed.
Or we would have found out in 20 years after someone wrote a book, like a tell-all, and then we're like, how do we not know about this? And you're like, I played against them.
I
or
mean, there's
something
just
crazy.
too much information to parse all of it. So a lot of people get by on ignorance. And unfortunately, they got what they wanted. They stepped right into the spotlight and immediately collapsed. So
I can't wait for it to become an actual school now. People are going to be like, let's make Bishop Sycamore real. And they're going to get like Nike sponsorships.
unbelievable.
That'd be awesome.
All right.
I'd buy some merch.
So we are going to talk a little bit about baseball before we head to another break. Did you have any thoughts on anything you saw in baseball yesterday?
I
Davis?
did. Blake Snell threw seven no hit innings before the combined no pitch, or I don't know why I keep saying no pitch, no hitter against the Diamondbacks. I think it was maybe.
Yeah, a no pitcher would be much more impressive than a no hitter.
Yeah, it'd be like, I guess there's really. I was trying to think of like maybe there's a way that could happen, but there isn't at all. Baseball has some crazy things. You're like, oh, this could never happen, but then it does.
I think you could step out of the batter's box. Well, that would be a strike. All right.
Well, that's in.
You could run the pitch clock out and accrue 4 balls on 4 straight batters, and that would, but then the game would never end.
It's
Yeah,
a paradox.
I don't think a no pitcher is possible, folks.
The lowest amount of pitches you can have in a game is 27 if every single pitch pops out. Like every single batter pops out on the first pitch.
Interesting.
Is that right? Is that the math right?
I mean, there's probably some rule I don't know about.
Yeah, that's probably true.
All right, so we're going to talk about the pennant chases as it's now September, so this is the final month of the regular season. So the playoff races are going to heat up. Right now, the Rays are on top of the AL East with an 84-48 record. The Yanks are 8 games behind them. The White Sox have the AL Central locked up. They are 77-56. And the Astros out west are 78-54. They have a 5-game lead over the Athletics. So right now, the playoff picture is currently the Rays would have the 1 seed. They would take on the winner of the wild card game, which would be between the Yankees and the Red Sox. And then the second series would be a White Sox-Astros in LDS. How do you feel about that, Davis?
As a Padres fan, I mean, obviously we're not talking about the Padres, but I just want to throw that in there real quick. I'm not happy the Padres are falling apart. But, I think the playoffs are shaping up to be looking pretty good right now. Yeah, I mean, your second favorite team is the Rays, and your first is the Braves. So I'm sure you're pretty happy over there with how it's all panning out for you.
Yeah, and over in the National League, we have the Braves in their playoff spot, the Brewers in theirs, and the Giants in theirs, respectively, although they only have a half-game lead over the Dodgers at this point. So we're excited. We'll bring you more baseball coverage as the September goes on. But other than that, we're going to head to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be talking to Chris Smith, Mr. Minecraft, who is building Auburn University and Auburn, Alabama in the world of Minecraft. We'll be right back.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm dropping you off at Emily's?
Yep.
And Josh, you're going to?
Soccer, Dad. Soccer practice.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you both up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, and my dorky dad hat, and I'm gonna do my dad dance for all your friends. They'll love it!
Seriously? Why?
Because I like my short shorts. Of course, I could be talked out of it if you guys would just buckle up your seatbelts without giving me a hard time.
It's important to get your kids to buckle up for safety, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, all it takes is your parental powers of persuasion.
Okay, we're buckling up.
See, all buckled.
Good choice. I'll just have to do my dad dance at dinner time. What?
No!
Do what you have to make sure your kids are wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
So you're giving up, just like that.
Giving up on what?
On getting an inheritance from a distant relative.
Don't you think if there were a billionaire in the family, we'd know about it by now?
Listen to me, we are one phone call away from riding horses on our own private polo grounds. One call from christening yachts, having a butler, using summer as a verb.
How do you figure?
Look, everyone's got a rich uncle somewhere. It's statistics. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for the inevitable.
Right, which is why I thought maybe it would be smart to take control of my finances. You know, start using a budget, get out of debt, set some retirement goals.
Budgets? Debt? You watch your mouth. Retirement shouldn't be a goal for us. It should be a way of life.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll, and I believe we have Mr. Chris Smith calling in on the phone. Is that correct?
That's right. How's it going, fellas?
Doing extremely well. Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, sure can.
Sure thing. All right. We are absolutely enthralled to have you in the studio with us this morning, calling in from where now? Texas?
Plano, Texas, yes.
Awesome. Great to hear it. So, for those of you who do not know, Mr. Smith has taken on the Herculean task of recreating the city of Auburn, the Auburn University, the surrounding area in the world of the online computer game Minecraft, which is it's pretty cool. So, initial thoughts on that, Davis? Any questions for Chris to open up?
I just want to say it looks really good so far from what I've seen. And
I appreciate it. It's crazy and it's ridiculous. It's a lot of stuff, but it's just a little background on it. It's actually the exact same project that went viral back in 2014. Whenever a guy named Trey Long, he built basically primary campus first, and then so he eventually burned out. He's still part of the project, and he's actually going to do the architecture building. soon. But it's he ran himself into the ground. Plus, he was in school at the time, so. But he turned it over to me, and I went to grad school for video game design, and so I came in wanting to just expand what he did, and it's off and on, but yeah, it's really stinking cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So yeah, I guess I had kind of naively assumed that this was a solo project, but how many people do you currently have, or at any given time, working on the project?
Well, excuse me. He did most of campus by himself while he was in school. His brother helped out a little bit, and basically there are two people. Right? I mean, he and I, and like one of the guys helped a little bit, and I'm not. Yeah, that's the weird thing. A whole bunch of people are asking, "Hey, can we get on?" And it's and I'd love to, but it would be. I don't have the time to back this thing up every night, and it'd be a policing and people management thing, and that's kind of hard to.
Yeah, as someone who has played a bit of online Minecraft myself, I am all too aware of how impossible it is to police people and make sure it doesn't get out of hand. So, when it comes to creating the actual buildings and landscape of campus itself, do you just kind of have to I know you can only get so much out of looking at a picture, so is there a lot of kind of mentally placing yourself on campus you have to do to make sure everything looks right from when you're not in your bird's eye perspective?
Yeah, everything. Well, Google Earth Pro has a ruler tool, and that has been the staple. It's even when he built the initial campus, he measured it. All these buildings are as close. You're dealing with 1 meter blocks, so but it's as exact as you can. We've made the lower quad dorms. We did make those wider, just so they'd look a little bit closer, because the other bathroom windows, were like one brick wide, and it was just it looked weird.
Yeah, and I assume you have to take a few creative licenses here and there, considering you're transforming a 3D real world environment into, like you said, 1 meter by 1 meter blocks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what was really hard is I was trying to get the terrain right, and we didn't have tools to do it, and basically we're just using World Edit. We're digging out, and I was getting to the right places, but it was the terrain wasn't flowing, and it was hard to get there. And then I ran across this a mod pack that these other people were using on this Build the Earth project, and they tried to recruit me to do that, but when they auto-generated the terrain for Auburn, it was like 7 degrees off, rotated, and everything's already going to look weird.
Yeah.
In the first place, but then you screw it up like that. I was like, whatever. So I got this mod pack, and I generated all the terrain myself, and it was at the correct north-south rotation, and I got that and pasted it underneath our current buildings, and that's how we got all this new terrain. It was and it makes a ton of difference.
Yeah, I saw on the Twitter page, which if you're not following at MC Aubie on Twitter, you should be, to check out these awesome pictures I have cycling on the live stream right now that Chris has put on that Twitter account. Be sure to do that. So one of the most striking images I saw on the Twitter was that you had used that tool, I guess, that GIS tool to map out the entire terrain map of the entire University Boulevard loop, the entire Auburn surrounding area.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and there's also an image a little bit further down where it shows the map where I've got all that terrain captured in another save file, and I actually have the entire loop. It goes out past the airport now, and but that's so far down the road that we could ever use that. But while the plugin's still working, I went ahead and
might as well capture as much of the terrain as you can. And it's really unique in that just one of the pictures that struck me was the picture of the campus green, how you're dealing with a very smooth slope, but you have to deal with a 1 meter drop off every time. So the way you can transform that how it translates from the real world to Minecraft is actually very impressive, how you were able to contour that landscape to be so realistic looking.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because that area has been something that, like a lot of the harder things you put off. Like, I don't want to tackle that right now because it's going to take so much time. But like the hardest thing about that area is when he built the stadium, he wasn't even going to try to rotate it right.
Mm-hmm.
That that'd be impossible. So it's actually true north-south, and the AU logo on the east side of the stadium normally points towards the green, but now it's pointing towards Haley Center or the new Student Center. I mean, and it's so, but it turned out so well, it's hardly noticeable.
Right. You're already looking at a world of blocks, so you can suspend your disbelief a little bit in terms of which way things are facing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to be the last thing. I think that and the jungle, I think we're going to leave them north-south, but
Yeah. So when I'm working on a big Minecraft building project, the big problem I have is always wanting to move on to something else before I get done with something. Do you have that problem where you're constantly jumping around between projects?
Yeah, it's whatever I feel that day, and I mean it's some people ask for stuff, and I'll get on there, but yeah, and I'm ADD anyway, and so I'm bouncing around all over the place. It's it keeps it fresh as well.
So will you have kind of just wake up one day with something in your mind's eye and have to tackle it rather than scheduling out what you're going to work on at any given point?
Yeah, I have a list of stuff, and when people request things, I mean, like last night a guy he said, hey, there's stairs and windows here, and so I was like, all right, sweet, and I went and did that. So I mean, yeah, anybody out there, if you see something that's not right, shoot it over.
Yeah. So yeah, just as Chris said, if you're not following at MC Aubie on Twitter, he posts some pretty cool. I mean, I see you have the shaders turned all the way up and the fog and all these cool effects that would probably honestly turn my computer into a pile of dust if I tried to do that. But if you want to, head over, check out those pictures, the ones I have scrolling on the live stream. And yeah, as Chris said, if you see something that's not right, some stairs out of place, some trees that are the wrong height, go ahead and reply. And I know he doesn't obviously have enough to do, so I'm sure Chris can take care of that.
Yeah, the weird thing about it is he had all the trees and shrubs and everything in, but whenever I was lowering all the buildings into place, I mean, all of them were close. I mean, within a couple of blocks, but I had to have a top-down view and look and see, is it in the exact right place? But all the bushes and everything and the sidewalks that we jacked up into the air, they were blocking where I couldn't see. So I had to wipe all those out whenever we dropped them in with the terrain. So that's the reason it looks bald, basically.
Right. And so about those shaders, is that something that just in playing Minecraft you've accrued? Is the cinematic kind of looking things, or is that something that you've?
No, that's a shader pack. Let's see, complementary shaders, I think is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried a bunch, and that one was tunable. And man, it, like you talk about, turning your computer into power dust. Mine is 8 years old, and when I built it, it was a beast. But it struggles when I got the shaders turned on. I've crashed the server a few times flying around.
Yeah,
with shaders on. But,
my big question is for you, Chris. At what point do you think you'll be satisfied with Auburn, or with the build? Do you think you're going to go all the way to Opelika, or you're going to finally place the last brick on Little Italy's and you'll be like, okay, this is it?
I mean, good question. I want to initially, before we let other people, play it, is at least get, what we consider downtown Auburn and a couple blocks within campus,
Mm-hmm.
and just, it's all, yeah. And I'm getting so many of these questions, man. Like, you've got almost 800 new followers just since last Friday, and so it's been kind of overwhelming. Sitting in church and my phone's buzzing. My wife's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, but the goal is I got out of grad school, video game grad school, and I wanted to. Literally the second week we're in school, our school was spun up by guys who worked at EA. And so the second week of school, guys come in just handing out copies of BF2 like it was, candy. And so we were blown away by this. And so I got out of school wanting to have an open source 3D Auburn project where, if there's ever a way you could make, a first-person shooter, if you could put your own world in a first-person shooter, I wanted to have that ready.
Right.
And so, didn't have time. And then my daughter, who, she shows me this Minecraft world, and so I reach out to Trey. I'm like, dude, let me see it. And he's nice enough to do it, and he was burnt out by that time too. So, and I took it and ran with it. So.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, I think we've talked a lot about the Minecraft world, but if you don't mind, I'd like to talk a little bit about what your experience was as an Auburn Tiger and how you've continued that legacy. Obviously moving over to Texas and continuing to work on something that is as cool as this Auburn project. What is it like working on a physical model of Auburn while not being in the physical space of Auburn? And what you did at school? You told me you were the captain of the roller hockey team, so I'm obviously super interested in that as a hockey fan. So yeah, maybe you could just elaborate on what your experience as an Auburn Tiger was.
Yeah, I was a graphic design major. It was a roller hockey club. It wasn't. We were running through, more money than we had worth of wheels playing on tennis courts.
Yeah.
And it was horrible, but it was still fun. And I did play roller hockey in Dothan for a while, and the guys would always come down from Auburn to play whenever we had pickup. And so that was cool to be able to, hook up with them again. But it wasn't much of a hockey experience. It was just more, it was rough. That Lakewood Commons tennis court.
Yeah.
Gosh, that thing's horrible. But no, my dad ran track at Auburn, and so I just wanted to wear the colors. So toyed around on the cycling team as well. Never got anything done, but just we all want to be a part of Auburn. So, but the weird thing about the world, being out here and doing it is, I actually, whenever we came back for Christmas last year, I drove to Auburn, and then I told Trey later, I said, it didn't really help me with this project because all the tools we have, I can get close enough. And, I said, God, we have so many tools available to us. It's just, I didn't have to be around to do it right. I had a good enough memory of what it was like, but it is weird to reference photos. Well, you'll have 8 reference photos of a building,
mm-hmm.
and everything other than the bricks are different in every single one. It's just like, what the heck? They just redo stuff so quick.
Yeah, that's another thing I was going to bring up is that, even in just my 5 years here at Auburn, there's so much has changed that I can imagine going off of Google Earth, like you said, or even just looking at pictures of buildings to get exteriors right, that I imagine if you turn up one day to Auburn, it may look completely different. And I just the Mel classroom building springs to mind as something that just popped up effectively over a year and completely changed the landscape of the entire north side of campus.
Yes, it is. We that's on the list. There's so much to do, but yeah.
Yeah, as I said, it is a Herculean task you have ascribed to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't fun, the ETC podcast, Kyle Loomis, he asked us at the end of our interview there, he said, "Why Auburn? Why have y'all done Auburn?" And both our answers are the same thing. Well, this is probably the only thing I would spend this much time doing in Minecraft. You know, I mean, Minecraft's so weird because you can argue that the staying power of this game came, mostly from the YouTube, sensation or YouTube revolution,
right?
Whatever. But the only reason I continue to put time into it is because of the staying power of this game. It's not going anywhere, and it's just, if it was going to be gone and it's a complete waste of time, I can back it up as an OBJ or something, and there are tools to do all that. So all this 3D data will never be lost, and that's one of the only reasons I keep doing it, because it's not going to be a total waste of time.
Yeah, you bring up an interesting point that Minecraft is, just in my short time playing video games, has probably been the most evergreen title that has ever been released. So I've been playing for over 10 years at this point, and to see it it's instantly recognizable in such an iconic fashion that I think that's what stuck. I think that's why this project has resonated with so many people. I've been so eager to share it with so many of my friends I used to play Minecraft with, I used to go to Auburn with, just because it's so iconic, and I think for that reason it's such a perfect medium to kind of create a little niche community around what you're doing.
Yeah, it's I appreciate you sharing it. A lot of people have. Good grief, I had 350 followers last Friday, and now it's like 1,100. So it took that one picture with shaders, like you said, that actually could be real. You have to do a second take, and holy crap, this is Minecraft. And that's been the goal of getting that area correct, slowly getting it as correct. And man, I'll take pictures, and I'll go to angles where you don't see the incomplete craft. I hide a lot of bad, ugly stuff that hasn't been fixed yet with the angles that I.
Well, yeah. If it makes you feel any better, the university does a lot of that too in its promotional images.
Nice.
So I know Davis was wondering what your plans for the interiors of buildings are going to be, because I know that's where the limits of Google Earth is going to stop, is being able to walk around inside the student center.
Right. Some of them have floors. Like most of them, he put the floors in there, but they don't have walls, which is really frustrating. I've done most of one side of one, like the floors that overlooking Plainsman Park in, was it South Donahue Hall?
Yes, that's correct.
So it's and it's difficult because it makes the rooms so small. You're already using up 6 feet, just doing each wall. So it's got the rooms are just so tiny, and that's frustrating. But yeah, we're trying to, and it's actually all the hill dorms are populated because we did one, and basically we cookie cutted that, and so all those are paste, all those are copy paste, rotate, and they're all a little bit different.
So and I assume that the village dorms would be the same situation with a copy and pasted.
Yes, but they're empty inside. They just have the floors. So.
Okay. And I also saw you had a working clock of sorts brewing on the Twitter page. Are you a redstone expert, or how does that work?
I am not. Trey did that, and if you go, his old page is WEGL Minecraft.
Okay.
And look at the one that went viral. It's like, I forget how many views it has, but it's a ton. But he walks you through, and he actually he puts a second back on the clock and everything. But he did all that, and I am not a redstone expert. He's actually an Auburn electrical engineer, and so
right, see that makes a lot of sense.
But it was cool. I mean, and it captured. I mean, Auburn Online. I mean, it captured everybody's fascination. It blew up. So that was really, really cool. And it was a whole lot of fun. And I love. I mean, everybody. I appreciate all the support and the questions and helping out and the humor that's coming through on this page. Somebody asked yesterday, like, hey, is the Eagle's Nest going to be closed for realism? And yep.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, so we'll see a lot of construction, hopefully, a lot of big tarps blocking your way. Just bring the full Auburn experience to the digital world is what we're looking forward to when this project continues.
Yeah, tarps, and yes, I actually I built that crane in front of the library one time, but tore it down. It's just is this going to be real? It's going to be
Yeah, the cranes are an integral part of the Auburn skyline, as we all know.
Yeah, and what do you guys think about all the big, colossal apartment buildings? I mean, they didn't bother me like when I was driving through, like street level, but man, when it's going to basically, I mean, Magnolia, I mean, you're not going to be able to see the front faces of campus. It's just, I don't know, I think it's kind of ridiculous. But
I have a big issue with those personally. I think they pretty much ruined the skyline of Auburn. I mean, like, I wasn't here. I was here when maybe like one or two of them was up and they started building the others. So like you could still kind of see. I live on Magnolia, so I have to drive past a lot of them. They cause a lot of undue traffic as well, the people leaving them. I just don't think they look that good personally. I'm pretty vocal about how I don't like them. I sound like an old person talking about them all the time. Like, oh, these darn buildings are so annoying.
Yeah, it gets me that. I mean, soon even a blimp shot will not be able to see the front of the engineering building. It's just like, come on, but they're going to do it, and I guess cities not going to regulate it.
I mean, from a real world architecture standpoint, they're a bit hideous and not great for the flow of traffic, but I mean, from a Minecraft architecture standpoint, it's already a big cube.
That's true.
So, I mean, it's already a big head start for you.
Yeah, they'll be easy to build because they're really plain, but
all right.
That new parking deck where Quixotes used to be, whatever. It's a good looking parking deck, though.
I mean, if you're gonna drop a parking deck right smack dab in the middle of downtown, I think you may need to make it a little more handsome than average.
Good point.
All right.
What's the how many students is it the Auburn have now?
Is it? It's close to 30,000, I think.
Something like that. I'll check real quick.
30. Good grief.
Yeah, quite the expansion.
Yeah, it's about 25,000, something like that. Yeah, undergraduates 24,594.
All right, Chris. We want to thank you for taking time out of your day and out of your busy Minecraft building to sit down and talk with us for a half hour. We really appreciate it here at Compact Discourse and everybody at WEGL. You have anything you want to shout out besides at MC Aubie?
Yeah, that's it. Just appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely, Chris. Well, thank you once again for coming on. And can we get one more War Eagle for the fans out there?
War Eagle.
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you. Have a great September, and maybe we'll talk to you again sometime. Have a good one.
All right, right on. Take care.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. That was Chris Smith at MC Aubie on Twitter. If you want to check out his awesome buildings he has going on, and if you're watching our live stream, you can check out some of my favorite pictures from that Twitter. Once again, thank you to Chris Smith for coming on the show. And we're going to take a quick break for the 9 o'clock hour. And when we come back, I think we might just have JP Williams, DJP, and potentially Will Root to talk about some music news. So don't go anywhere. The excitement continues. You are listening to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM.
I'm Tiffany. I have some tips for you on how to quit smoking like I did. First, I did some reading about it. I found a lot of great advice on how to quit smoking and picked out the ways I thought would work best for me. I started by setting a quit date. Then I threw out my ashtrays, lighters, and matches. I did other things too, like exercising more, and it worked. But I'd still get cravings, especially on long car rides. To help me with that, I put a picture of my mother in my car. She died of lung cancer from smoking cigarettes when I was only 16. Now I have a 16-year-old daughter. That picture of my mother reminds me that I don't want to miss all the things my daughter is going to do in her life, including turning 17.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Getting support from friends online kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
Instead of smoking after I ate, I'd get up and take a walk.
I missed having a cigarette in my hand, so I'd hold a pen or a straw, anything.
Until I knew I wouldn't give in to temptation, I spent more time with my friends who didn't smoke.
I went to places that were smoke-free.
I didn't stay quit the very first time I tried.
I kept on trying, and I learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
I quit.
I quit.
I quit.
We did it, so can you.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
It's the top of the hour, about 9 a.m., and you're still listening to WEGL 91.1 FM. Well, you made it this far. Go get yourself a cup of coffee. You've earned it.
I really need a cup of joe, and if I don't get one, I think I might blow a gasket, and it's not a pretty sight.
We'll be right back in a few minutes with the second half of the show. Thank you so much for listening to Compact Discourse.
Hi, I'm Harrison Smith. You may know me from my work as Scuba, one of the hosts of the hit award-winning show Nerdcore on WEGL 91.1 FM. But what you may not know about me is that I'm a website enthusiast. That's why I'm here to tell you about WeagleFM.com. It's our hotspot on the web with live broadcast articles and more. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. Tune into your favorite shows at any time with a 24/7 online stream right on the homepage. And don't forget to check out the schedule for our station's full selection of music, sports, and talk shows. For the sports fans, there's articles aplenty covering all of the current events in football, basketball, and beyond. For those music fans, WEGL FM has got you covered. We have album and concert reviews and theme playlists for any mood. We even have live musical performances with WEGL Sessions. There's more than enough content here to keep you procrastinated when you really should be studying for that test. That's right, we know you've been slacking off. Get back to it, lazy. So, no matter what sound you're looking for, we've got it only on WeagleFM.com. That's WEGLFM.com and WEGL 91.1 FM, Auburn.
Attention men under the age of 35. You know what really impresses the ladies? When a guy has a few drinks and later gets pulled over for buzz driving. That could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. There goes let's grab dinner and a movie. Oh, I know. You drive more carefully when you're buzzed. You've proven that hundreds of times. A woman admires that kind of confidence. And you've practiced how to speak if a cop does pull you over. Slowly, clearly, and politely like, "Good evening, officer." A woman admires that kind of foresight. And what woman doesn't find it adorable that you call it buzzed even though the law calls it drunk? You could kiss $10,000 goodbye, along with any chance of having a girlfriend. Because nothing says I'm a catch more than a guy who lives in his parents' basement and calls it my place.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM, WEGLFM.com, or you might just be watching on our YouTube page. You can check out that video live stream. Everybody wave hello to the high cam for those of us watching on YouTube. Good morning from all of us here at Compact Discourse. It is 9:05 a.m., and we are ready to bring you the second half of the show. If you missed it in the last half, we just talked to Mr. Chris Smith at MC Aubie on Twitter. He is the Minecraft man. He is rebuilding all of Auburn in Minecraft. So if you want to hear me and Davis's interview with Chris Smith, I'll probably post a video of that on our YouTube page where you're watching this right now, or you can listen to our podcast 100% commercial free wherever you get your podcast. Just search for Compact Discourse. I do it on Spotify. It pulls right up. It's as easy as that. All right. So without further ado, let's jump right into the show. Of course, I am your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll from the last segment, and now joining me in for a WEGL Wednesday. It is a wonderful Wednesday to have you guys in the booth with Mr. Williams and Mr. Will. It is DJP and the Root Man, Will Root, WEGL's program director and music director, respectively. How are y'all doing this fine Wednesday morning, first day of September?
I'm doing great. I just like to say, like, the production on this show is fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
I've been, like, listening in for the past, like, couple weeks, and it's just, I don't know, it's nice. Like, my show's kind of, like, laid back a little bit, and you definitely kind of throw a lot into it, so I really appreciate that. That sounds nice. I know JP's ready to go. He's heated on the mic over here.
If ready to go is one way to put it, bro. I'm already kind of not really a morning person, and I woke up, like, earlier than I usually do today, just because I was like, all right, I'm going to be on time. I'm going to get there like 10 minutes before. And then lo and behold, the Tiger Transit let me down yet again. So, I'm pretty much used to it at this point, but it's still just one of those things that just never stops hurting whenever the Tiger Transit lets you down. And another thing I literally wrote down, why does no one that goes to this school know how to use a sidewalk? I'm trying so hard to not just go crazy about that, but like, dude, no one knows how to walk on the sidewalk here. You know what I mean?
This is some people's first sidewalk experience.
That's true.
I guess, bro, but it's ridiculous. It's like, look up from your phone and see who's in front of you before it's like 5 feet. And like some of these okay, I'm gonna stop. I'll let y'all breathe.
I was gonna say,
my goodness, JP,
yeah,
he's really
he's
bad.
really
I'm ready to go, man.
One thing when I was here for Camp War Eagle like 3 years ago, I noticed that a lot of people, I guess Jack's over here adjusting.
Sorry, I do adjust.
Be sure I'll look at the
surveillance camera.
Yeah, we got to be sure we're on camera. No, one of the things I noticed a lot is that there are always like utility vehicles driving down the concourses and the sidewalks, and I always thought that was really frustrating because I'd be trying to like walk to class, and there's like parking services driving right behind you. Like they're gonna get, like they'll come in and like write you a ticket for parking in a spot for 5 minutes, but then they're gonna turn right around and drive right down the concourse in front of everybody, like during a class change. That's one of those things I've always found interesting about all.
As a bike rider, I'm kind of partial to the vehicles in that they really cut a path that you can use. The Panda Express one, back when, are there still two Pandas?
I don't know if the
one in Terrell, is that?
No, Terrell closed like a couple of years ago.
Right,
there's one in Foy, though.
Shows when I know. All right,
so there was. I don't know if it is there anymore.
I think it's still there.
There used to be a golf cart that would drive between the two Panda Expresses, which goes right down the Haley Concourse, and would cut just like Moses a path of all the freshmen. And I could effectively, just hitch my bicycle to the back of that and ride that all the way to safety. So As a bike rider, I'm partial to the vehicles, but I do understand how, any kind of mixed traffic is going to cause some issues on any kind of thoroughfare. So,
yeah, and as someone who will occasionally ride a skateboard, I haven't done that yet this year just because I knew how many people were going to be here, but I really don't think that riding a skateboard is something that's feasible before like 3 in the afternoon here. Like, you got to wait until at least like the majority of students are already done with class for the day and they're going to get off campus, because I mean, like, I think I've mentioned it before about how I almost took out some football players' ankles my freshman year. So ever since then, I've been really cautious with riding around campus, but especially with this many people, bro, like, you got to really be careful.
I think I have like a tally going right now of how many people I've seen fall off of skateboards just in the past 2 weeks.
What's it at?
I think we're about 3 right now. I was walking down to Louder the other day, and there was a guy who was coming out of Haley Center. He threw his skateboard down, immediately fell off in front of a crowd of about 20 people. I felt really bad for him.
Shaq 10 right there.
It builds character.
It really does. I've fallen on the concourse. I think everyone has to fall on the concourse at least one time before they graduate.
Knock on wood
to get the full experience.
I'm gonna plan on not doing that.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Those bricks are really uneven.
I've tripped on the stairs in the student center before. Does that count?
No, it does not count. You got to be in front of everybody for it to count.
All right. So before we get too deep in discussion, we do have some quick campus announcements we want to bring to your attention. Tonight, Auburn UPC is putting on their open mic night. That is tonight, about 30 feet from where we're sitting right now in the vertical direction at the Starbucks, or around the Starbucks, rather. That is going to be put on by UPC and The Circle. Our friends over at The Circle, also our awesome sound engineers here at WEGL, are going to be taking care of the AV. So that is tonight, 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in the Melton Student Center by the Starbucks. I just follow the sound of the music. Go to aub.ie/open mic night. That's aub.ie/open MIC night for more information and potentially to sign up if you are feeling the music tonight. It is an open mic night after all, so you never know what you will hear. Also, just announced today, Auburn UPC is putting on another movie night. It is Mortal Kombat night, if you can believe that. Thursday, September 2nd, 7:30 p.m. in the Student Center Ballroom. Head up to the Melton Student Center Ballroom. Probably going to be some popcorn. There usually is at a UPC movie night. So if you want to watch Mortal Kombat, that's another option for you this week as the rain continues to fall. A lot of fun, exciting indoor activities for you. Also want to give a quick shout out to Chris Tobias, who has his first inaugural show of Cheetah Print tonight. That is at 8 p.m. right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. It is funk, it is R&B, it is soul, it is jazz, it is groove. It is whatever will get you moving tonight on a fine Wednesday evening. 8 p.m. tonight. That's Cheetah Print with DJ CD. You aren't going to want to miss it. And
yeah, we got Woodstock Hour at 7 p.m. So actually, now that I think about it, I think we have shows going from 6, 7, and 8.
Wednesdays are packed.
We go Wednesdays.
Yes, got the shirt on for a reason. I normally will wear some type of like WEGL shirt on a Wednesday. I used to have a whole like fit schedule for real, and I was hoping I'd be able to wear this one.
Hey, we're on the air, JP. You don't have to say that.
What, the fit schedule?
The fit schedule.
I mean, it's like a joke, but it's also not a joke. But I don't know. It's
hey man,
not like
this man likes to. This man is dripping all the time.
I guess, bro. I don't know.
All right, so Woodstock Hour tonight.
Yeah, Woodstock Hour.
We'll
acoustic
preview.
Classic rock. Yeah. Let's see. We got like Heart of Gold by Neil Young. Lonely People by America. Got Landslide, Fleetwood Mac. Just all type of acoustic stuff.
Aren't going to want to miss it. Yeah, keep that dial right here on WEGL all day long because you aren't going to want to miss any part of WEGL Wednesday, kicking off with, I think, the Mackey Hour this afternoon and just banger after banger after that.
Yeah, I'm not sure when Erin's show is going to start, but she used to have a really cool rock show at 5 p.m. Jalen texted me asking me about her show time, and I told her that she was good to go this week. I'm not sure if that means she's going to do her show. I should probably text her, but I guess we'll see.
All right, and then also another quick preview for you. I've got Dylan coming on tomorrow to talk about Auburn Stages, which is going to be tomorrow night at 5 p.m. on the Cater Lawn. If you have not been to an Auburn Stages, you got to check this thing out because it's one of the coolest events that gets put on campus. It's absolutely free, and it's absolutely amazing, and it goes on pretty much every week. Dylan has just all these connections into the music world, and he makes things happen week after week. So we are excited to see what is happening on Thursday. So that is tomorrow at 5 p.m. Cater Lawn. Come chill with us this Thursday for some music from the lovely and talented singer and songwriter Sage. Watch the sunset to some cool acoustic vibes on Cater Lawn. The event starts at 5. Sage will be performing at 6. So be sure to tune up to that one on the Cater Lawn. And we got Dylan coming on the show tomorrow to give you even more information about that event. So a lot of things happening. And, of course, that information brought to you by the WEGL Instagram and Twitter. That is at WEGL_AU. Be sure to drop a follow and get ready for daily content Monday through Friday. Aaron's working super hard to get that ready for you, and we are super excited to check it out. One last plug, if you want to get your opinion on the show, if you have any questions or comments, concerns, complaints even, shoot that as a tweet to @CDiscAU. That's @CDISCAU. If you're watching on YouTube, it's right there on the screen. If you're listening, that is once again @CDISCAU. That's short for Compact Discourse, Auburn University, of course. But we're going to head to a quick break, and when we get back, I think DJP and the Root Man have some music they want to chat about. So you aren't going to want to miss that. You are listening to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM, WEGLFM.com, or our YouTube page. Just search for WEGL 91.1. I'm Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis, JP, and Will. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes.
I'm Tiffany. I have some tips for you on how to quit smoking like I did. First, I did some reading about it. I found a lot of great advice on how to quit smoking and picked out the ways I thought would work best for me. I started by setting a quit date. Then I threw out my ashtrays, lighters, and matches. I did other things too, like exercising more, and it worked. But I'd still get cravings, especially on long car rides. To help me with that, I put a picture of my mother in my car. She died of lung cancer from smoking cigarettes when I was only 16. Now I have a 16-year-old daughter. That picture of my mother reminds me that I don't want to miss all the things my daughter is going to do in her life, including turning 17.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Getting support from friends online kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
Instead of smoking after I ate, I'd get up and take a walk.
I missed having a cigarette in my hand, so I'd hold a pen or a straw, anything.
Until I knew I wouldn't give in to temptation, I spent more time with my friends who didn't smoke.
I went to places that were smoke-free.
I didn't stay quit the very first time I tried.
I kept on trying, and I learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
I quit.
I quit.
I quit.
We did it, so can you.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll, who's been sitting in here with me since 8 a.m. What a trooper. We also got DJP and Will Root, WEGL programming and music directors, sitting in the booth with me, getting ready to provide you another great segment. JP's got some music stuff prepared, as it is another WEGL Wednesday. We also want to shout out that we've got some great programming coming up this evening. I believe 3 awesome WEGL shows starting at 5 p.m., so keep that dial right here on WEGL 91.1 FM, including Cheetah Print you can go to @ctobias on Instagram to check out the promotional image of the week. It is pretty cool. You aren't going to want to miss it. All right, so we are sitting in the booth right here in the Bradley Basin WEGL studios in the Harold Melton Student Center, and I've brought two music aficionados on the show with me today to discuss a little bit of music. And I know Davis, he has a Spotify account too. So
big music fan over here. Not as big as these two though.
Yes, your average music enjoyer, right?
Yeah, average music enjoyer, the Chad music listener meme. But okay, I see that Jack's already got that Sob Rock pulled up over there. So
yes, sir.
Is that what you've been listening to lately?
Yes. If you want to bury the lead, that is indeed what I've been listening to lately.
Okay, that's what's up. You got the record, don't you?
I sure do.
Okay. So, all right. I just
average
wanted to
music
ask-
listener.
Yeah, average music listener.
Giga Chad music listener.
All right. So I'll toss it over to Will Root. So like, if you could pull up your most recently saved song on Spotify, or just like, what have you been listening to? Like, what's been in your rotation recently?
Man, that's actually a really tough question. I'm going to pull it up right now. See, like, a lot of the stuff that I get from my show, I usually just pull up from my Discover Weekly. Like, that's basically, like, at this point, I've pretty much built my music tastes on Spotify, so it kind of just does the work for me if I want to go through and look for it. I know I've been listening to a bunch of Wallows recently because I went up to Kansas City to see one of my friends, and she's a really big Wallows fan, so I kind of got back into them, and I don't know, like I kind of got introduced to Dylan Minnette through, the 13 Reasons Why show. He was on there, and then it turns out he was like in a band. So I mean, it was pretty cool, and I really like their sound. So that's what I've been really listening to a little bit of recently.
Very nice. Davis, how about you?
I've been listening to a lot of stuff, but most recently I've been listening a lot to Pierre Bourne's album, The Life of Pierre 5. It's a pick of it. It's a very fun album.
He's got 4 others.
No, he has one other. That's the joke. It's just called Life of Pierre 5. It's just a
right,
really fun album. Makes me really happy listening to it.
It's like how Star Wars started with 4.
Yeah. That's a good joke.
So
Through the
does that
wind?
mean he's gonna have like some prequels or whatever? He's gonna have some old ones.
Maybe.
Hey, yo, the Pierre prequels?
That'd be awesome.
Ooh,
It's
that
so
might
good.
be a future fit for the show.
You hear that a lot.
Well, for me, I've kind of been listening to. Okay, I was listening to Outkast's Aquemini on my way over here, so that's a really good album. That's from
That's a good
let me
album.
see, I think like '98 maybe. Yeah, 1998. I've been listening to more Neil Young recently. Been trying to get back into Neil Young. Future Birds. That's another good album. If we're gonna talk about birds and the colorful bird again, but that and a little bit of Chili Peppers.
Sorry.
What? Oh, was that But I'm trying to see a colorful bird.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, you got to, I keep the colorful bird button on deck.
Yeah, I'm trying to see a colorful bird. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for that first question. But I also wanted to talk.
Oh, I
about,
mean, I have been listening to Sob Rock a little bit.
Yeah, you keep going. Tell me.
So yeah, over the summer, it came out in July. So what I would do is just sit on the porch, listen to it all the way through. That's probably the best way. I mean, to disconnect from the world and listen to an album. That's one of life's simple pleasures. Just check out for a moment. Put the phone away. All it's doing is Spotify. That's all you need. And so I just it's hard for me to pick a favorite song off of that album, just because I still have yet to completely shape my opinion, if you will. It's going to take a little longer, but it seems to get stuck in my head a lot. Last Train Home, which is the top song on the album, it's very catchy, but I also like Wild Blue a lot because it's very chill, it's very acoustic, and that's kind of the vibe of the album. Is a little, John Mayer started with a little chill acoustic vibe. He got a little rock and roll, got a Frank Ocean feature, got a little
Awesome
crazy.
song.
But now, back to Sob Rock, and then I know Why You Know Love Me, while controversial in its grammatical verb tense, I think it's a great song, and it's a very catchy song. Songwriting prowess aside, I think the music speaks for itself.
Yeah, and John Mayer's incredibly talented. I cannot wait to see where he ranks towards like the end of his career, because he's been on this Grateful Dead thing lately with Dead and Company, so that's been really cool to see him doing that. But I like John Mayer. I don't listen to like all of his music like religiously. Like I'm not like a diehard John Mayer fan, but I mean I'll definitely give his music a listen. Like I still haven't heard this album. I have a friend of mine who absolutely loves John Mayer and sent me some of the merch, like the John Mayer Sob Rock merch, like the Wild Blue, the tie-dye shirt or whatever.
Okay.
So I thought that was cool. I think I might get that. But I'm not gonna buy a T-shirt until I listen to the album, because then it'd be
then you'd just be a poser.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't do none of that here. Are you
We
looking at
don't?
Davis?
Yeah, Davis in his Ichiro T-shirt.
I'm an Ichiro fan.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I thought you were a Padres fan.
I am. My second favorite team is the Mariners.
You can't not
Okay.
be.
He's
an Ichiro's
coping.
fan.
Everybody loves Ichiro.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Do you love Ichiro, JP?
Dude, I don't really know enough about baseball.
Did you ever watch? I heard y'all talking about John Boyce earlier, but like the entire history of the Seattle Mariners.
Of course I have.
Oh, I'm watching the Falcons one right now.
I'm gonna wait till they're all out so I can like binge them in one day.
Yeah, no, the Mariners series, that was what
It's
got me
amazing.
thrill the first month of quarantine for sure.
Such a good series. JP, I will say I own a band shirt that I found at the thrift store. It's really cool. I might wear it tomorrow since I'm referencing it now. It's a Rush T-shirt.
Ooh.
It's really cool. It has like the dude standing there.
Tom Sawyer.
That's one of their songs. Yeah.
Is it from that album? I think that one's like Moving Pictures or something like that.
I mean, the thing is, my point is, I don't really listen to them. I've listened to them a little bit just so I can be familiar enough that if a dad walks up and is like, "You like Rush?" I'd be like, "Yeah, Tom Sawyer," and I walk away.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that album Moving Pictures, is it this one though? Or is it something different?
No, it's it's like the thing they have on their like drums is like the dude with the back. He's like this. He has like his hands up.
the like the blue looking album? Hold on.
I'll look into it, JP. You're asking me about albums I haven't listened to.
You failed the test.
this guy,
JP's the
he got
dad.
you.
No.
He got you.
JP's
Look on their drum. Hand this to JP. Look on their drum set.
Davis, you realize that JP's the dad that's going to ask you about the Rush
That's what I'm
T-shirt, and you
saying.
failed the test
That,
already.
like with the star, and he's standing there with his hands on it. I'm doing the hand positioning too.
Yeah, you just lost
Okay.
all credibility right there, just trying to.
My point is that
Rickenbacker
what I'm saying is
JP
that I am a poser for a Rush T-shirt that I have. That's my point.
I have one band shirt. It's a Tame Impala shirt. It has jellyfish on it. It's really cool.
Did you know that Tame Impala is only one guy?
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, bro, did you know that?
Wait, who's the drummer in that band? What's his name?
I think his
Tame?
name's something like
Yeah, I
Rex
think it's
Orange
Tame
County.
Impala.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, you're right, Jack.
All right, JP. I'll let you get this train back on the tracks.
I mean, I don't really know where the train was going. Train just left the station, but okay. I was gonna pull up this day in music history, but I'm gonna need a second to actually find like what day and what year was like worth talking about. But let's see, it's 2021. It's like September. I'm trying to think of any albums that came out this month.
Well, today in music history, Davis just got owned as a poser.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
admitting that that's the only shirt that I have that I'm
Yo,
a
turn
poser
this guy's
for.
mic off.
You know, I haven't listened to Rush either. I can't say anything.
It's a cool shirt. You would have got it too.
I probably would have. I would be a poser as well with you. So I'll stand up for you.
When it comes to my music taste, the shirts usually come before liking the band. You know, you buy the shirt and then you
Yeah.
start listening to the band as a result.
But
One begets the other.
the band shirt that I hate the most is the Target Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon one. I hate it.
Oh, I have one. I saw it today. Actually, walk into the show. It's the Joy Division shirt. I feel like everyone has that. I actually, I found this one shirt that I'm actually gonna get. It's a white T-shirt, but it has the Joy Division shirt on the white T-shirt.
Subversive.
Yes, a little
social
bit-
commentary
yeah,
on your
yeah,
shirt.
A little bit of humor right there.
It's what we in the industry call a joke.
I'm pretty bad at taking jokes, if you can't tell. I'm a very literal person. Yeah, that's gonna be another one of those sound bites or something after this.
Good.
I think
But I'm trying to see a colorful bird.
I think that one's pretty funny, the colorful bird. I had no idea that was gonna turn into what it is now.
We got another soundbite last night on my show.
Which one?
Which we had a caller into my show last night. It was one of my good friends from up in Tennessee, and he's about to sign off, and he goes, "Okay, well, is it cool if I do a station ID?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, go ahead." So JP's over on the phone, and this man goes, "All right, listen," and then JP cuts it off immediately.
Yeah, I
So-
didn't have the headphones on, so I didn't really know what was going on. I just was gonna drop him from the phone call because I had put him on the air because Will had never used the phone before. So, Caleb, if you're out there, I apologize.
Yeah,
sorry.
I also don't know how to work phones, which is very interesting.
It's not too bad for real. Like I mean, I kind of figured it out pretty quickly.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to head to a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to continue discussing music with DJP, the Root Man, and future library employee Davis Carroll.
Potential future library.
Ooh. So don't go anywhere. You're listening to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hart. We'll be back after these messages in about 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, Simon, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. And what do people normally wear?
Clothes.
Exactly. So now Mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Clothes keep us warm, they look good, and if we go out without them, the neighbors will talk. So it's important to know how to get dressed. Here's how it's done. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole, or you have to start all over. If you're wearing a tie, it goes over, round, through, and pull tight. Tuck your shirt into your pants and zip up your fly. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears.
I love bunnies.
Good to know. Now remember, spots don't go with stripes, socks don't go with sandals, and if you've tucked in your shirt, wear a belt. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. That's 2min2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM, WEGLFM.com, or we hope you're watching on our YouTube page. That's just search for WEGL 91.1 on YouTube and look for that blue and orange eagle profile picture to check out our live stream or video on demand. You can fast forward, rewind, pause, whatever you like. You can also go to your podcast player of choice and search for Compact Discourse and get the podcast. It is 100% commercial free. If I can go to the one host cam real quick, just search for Compact Discourse. It's that easy for our entire backlog of shows. So they're commercial free as well. So we are back in the studio, Bradley Basin WEGL Studios here in the Harold Melton Student Center. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside J.P. Williams, Will Root, and Davis Carroll. JP is ready to bring us some This Day in Music History. That is a WEGL Wednesday. We not only have an open mic night event going on at 6:30 tonight at the Harold Melton Student Center, we also have some awesome shows lined up, including JP's Woodstock Hour and Chris Tobias's Cheetah Print coming on tonight at 7 and 8 p.m. respectively. So keep that dial right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. And JP, take it away.
Well, I just wanted to talk about Woodstock and Cheetah Print again one more time because that's going to be awesome, dude. I wish that I wasn't going to have to miss the first half to go finish up with the emceeing, but I'll probably come hang out for the last half of Cheetah Print if I had to guess. But so this day in music history, on September 1st, 2011, Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day was thrown off a Southwest flight. Now, remember, this is Southwest Airlines. How much is the ticket for Southwest?
It depends on where you're going.
Okay. Well, it's known for like not being super expensive, but he got thrown off for wearing his pants too low. The flight attendant had approached Armstrong and told him, pull pull your pants up or get off the plane. And let's just say he got thrown off the plane. And also on this day, Conway Twitty was born. He's known for a couple songs. Hello, Darlin'. I know that Gavin's actually played one of his songs, probably a couple of them. I just remember one time I was listening to Gavin's show, which is Country Boots and Roots, Fridays 1 to 3. If you're looking for your country fix on WEGL,
that's a great show.
It's a good
fantastic
show. It is
show.
awesome. It's like the most authentic country show you can imagine. He played like Rest Your Love on Me. I like Conway Twitty. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this day in music history. Let's see what else I got to bring up. Do y'all want to talk about movie soundtracks? Favorite movie
sure
soundtracks?
Thing. Yeah.
And that can be either like a Tarantino movie that's got all like a bunch of like famous songs, or it can be something like The Dark Knight, which are pretty much the most basic examples, but I figured it'd be the easiest one for
You're
the
missing
audience.
the best person to have on the show for this, Alex. Alex takes a soundtrack class, and that's all he talks about.
Maybe we aren't missing him then.
Call him, get him to call in.
Yeah, get him to call in. Well, he's probably in class.
He's probably in soundtrack.
I could probably recount to you all that he's told me about soundtracks if you really want. That go on for a while.
All right, do you want to kick us off, JP, or pass it around the horn?
Okay, well, I'll kind of start it off. I'm not going to say my favorite one because there's so many of them that I really enjoy, but I'm going to start off with the most underrated, underappreciated one, and that's Kung Fu Panda. Hans Zimmer. That's Hans Zimmer's work.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
I did not know
Uguay's
that.
Legacy, bro. Fire.
Hans Zimmer knows what he's doing.
I mean, yeah.
Hot
He
take
even
of
has
the
a
year.
master class now. So that's awesome. Good for Hans.
Learn how to orchestrate.
That'd be dope. I really enjoy classical music, and he's kind of turned classical music into contemporary. It's been cool to see that over the years. So
shout out to Hans.
Yeah, shout out Hans.
Shout out my man
And then when it
Hans.
comes to like movies that have like a just good overall soundtrack with like good music in it, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is always going to be one. Any Quentin Tarantino movie, I think Django Unchained is probably another one of my favorites because it's got I Got a Name by Jim Croce. Love some Jim Croce. Fellas.
Yeah, so going along with the Tarantino, like the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood soundtrack is probably one of my favorite overall because I was like last summer I was really starting to get into a bunch of 60s music, and that's really like all that movie is, just a bunch of classic 60s music, and they come back and they throw a bunch of names out there and they have a bunch of like I guess not really celebrity cameos, but like people who are acting as the celebrities in the movie. So I mean that was just a really cool thing, just like the whole 60s vibe behind it. And then another one I was thinking of was I actually watched this movie the other night, The Great Gatsby. I liked a bunch of the music in there really juxtaposes like the whole 1920s feel because it's supposed to be
the Baz Luhrmann edition that came out like not too long ago.
Yeah, the one that it's like the one with
Leo
and
yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah, and Spider-Man
and Toby.
Did Jay-Z make the soundtrack?
Yeah, it was, he was definitely on there. I know that
Beyonce is on there too.
Lana Del Rey. It was just a bunch of like modern artists making music for a movie that takes place in the 20s, which I thought was really cool. I really enjoyed that part of the movie. So there you go. What y'all got?
I'd say I'm gonna. Mine's a movie I feel like y'all definitely haven't heard of. It's called The Last Black Man in San Francisco, and it's like kind of orchestral, some soul. It's amazing. It's probably the soundtrack I've listened to most out of movies. A Ghost Story is also another one. They're both A24 movies. Very good soundtracks. Check them out. There's the vinyl of The Last Black Man in San Francisco I'm trying to get my hands on, but it's hard to get a hold of.
I mean, I'm sure you can find it somewhere. Where have you looked so far?
The only place it's on is Amazon or Discogs, and it's like $80 to $100.
Yeah, that's not cheap right there.
So in terms of cinematic, like sweeping, beautiful, I really like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, especially at World's End. It has Up is Down, Lift the Colors High, just very grand, like swashbuckling, like larger than life musical pieces, which are great for action sequences, but also just scene setters. I really like. So that as far as a traditional movie soundtrack, I think that's also Hans Zimmer. So really great work there, especially in At World's End. I think is the best of the original trilogy. But in terms of just a movie that is made so much better by its soundtrack, it's made iconic by its soundtrack, and it's just such a weird collection of songs that work, is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
Just weird songs. You know, you have the Dankeschön scene, you have Twist and Shout, you have the Star Wars theme when they take the car out for the joyride. You have Taking the Day Off, which obviously is the whole theme of the movie. Edge of Forever, March of the Swivelheads, you know, the iconic jumping over the fences scene at the end. Like, it's made by the music. I mean, obviously the movie's great if you take away all the music, but what sticks out in my head and what makes me remember scenes in the movie is every time I hear a song that is in the movie. And I think the fact that there's no, like, set genre, they're all just weird, unique, different songs that come together, and it, like, there aren't movies like that anymore that are shot weird. Sometimes sounds just play. I know I was telling Davis about this the other day. There's a scene where Jeannie's talking to Charlie Sheen's character, and she says that you can call me Shauna, and then there's just a sting that plays that says, Shauna. They don't edit movies like that anymore.
You can't make this today.
Come on, Davis.
I do have one more. Can I add real quick?
Go ahead.
Nope, I'm kidding.
Let's go back around the horn.
The Danny Elfman score from Spider-Man 1 or 2, I'd say.
Yeah, like the
gives me goosebumps every
OGs.
time.
Okay, so
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Whenever I was thinking of like different station IDs and ads last night, I was going back and watching like movie clips, and I went through like the original Spider-Mans just to hear like all of his just one-liners and jokes and stuff like that, and the soundtrack in the movie is just awesome. It's good in pretty much all of them. But have you played the Spider-Man PlayStation 4?
Yes.
Dude, like the music in that game is really good, and I'm gonna let Will talk. I don't want to skip over him, but I do have a segue.
Oh yeah, no, and then this one's for video games though, like Red Dead.
Yeah, that's actually my
there it is.
Yeah,
gonna be.
yeah.
Said the word of the day.
There we go. I got him.
Wait, what was the word? Segue?
Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah, dude. I've been rewatching the Red Dead Redemption 2 campaign playthrough, just because I enjoy it. It's like, what's that look on your face over there, Davis?
Nothing, bro.
Well, you don't like video game
Davis
playthroughs,
is just
bro?
perplexed with how you spend your free time. That's all.
Man, y'all already.
I mean, like
from my YouTube
I used to
searches.
watch playthroughs. Don't get me wrong. I used to watch the Rad Brad all the time, but I'd much
That's
rather
who I've
play
been
a
watching.
game. I mean, like the Rad Brad's that's the only person I ever watched do a playthrough. Anyway.
Yeah. I love the Rad Brad, but man, that guy can sometimes be such an airhead with video games. But it's so realistic, though, the way he is with it. It's like watching someone figure out how to play it.
That's true.
So
I mean,
it's been nice.
There's probably many times of any of us being airheads during a video game.
Oh yeah,
all of his are just captured on film.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to like the reason I've been watching that is because I still don't have a PlayStation 4. I don't have the Xbox One. Still rocking the PlayStation 3, and I like the Red Dead 1. Especially whenever you're in Mexico, they play like the music with like the horns and stuff like that, and that sounds really awesome. But my other favorite video game soundtrack, okay, I can barely even say what I'm trying to say right now, but the Skyrim soundtrack.
I was also gonna say that too.
Skyrim's awesome. Skate 3's got a good like soundtrack of all like the music in it, but
Skyrim, if you started playing it, I'd probably be like a sleeper agent, and like it all come back right. I could probably like sing along to it still.
I'll still study it. Like not study.
He's a
I will
major.
study like with that music in the background. I'll just throw the soundtrack.
I did another playthrough of Skyrim this past summer, and it was very nice, just to sit back and take a little time just to get immersed in a video game again.
What type of character were you?
I was a red guard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to get some of the curved swords, as they say, the
scimitars.
Scimitars, yes. I had to get.
Did you get the one where you're doing the Dark Brotherhood one? And you can go. You're supposed to assassinate the Emperor, but you don't really.
I didn't.
And you get the scimitar stuck to the end of the.
Yeah, I didn't get full. I didn't play. I only played for like a month, so there's just so much stuff to do in that game. I was trying to build a house.
That's the best scimitar, bro.
Yeah,
I have a little bit of extra information to go with the guy from Dark Brotherhood. So the Red Guard guy with the super deep voice, whatever. He's also the. I don't even know what Jack's doing right now. He's making.
Jack's never played Skyrim.
I'm out.
Okay.
My show's been hijacked by the nerds.
Whatever, man.
Geek
at
talk.
AMC, there's always
talking
like,
about
the
Minecraft
voiceover
earlier,
guy
bro.
for
Come
like
on.
the ads. He's like one of the voiceover guys. It's the same voice as the guy from Skyrim. I don't know the guy's name.
That's
but.
pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Skyrim's awesome. Jack's gonna play it eventually, and then he can join in this discussion.
I'll get there. All right, video game soundtrack I like. MVP Baseball 2005. Time machine. It takes you back to like all of just like the terrible pop like punk rock music that was playing, like Andrew WK, Louis the 14th, Hot Hot Heat, all that stuff. There's a playlist of it on Spotify. I got it right here. Check it out. MVP 05. Look for Manny Ramirez and just hit shuffle. It'll take you back in time.
I might have to do that later on.
Also, NCAA Football 06. Probably one of my most iconic music soundtracks. I got it pulled up right now. Like oh gosh, that's a lot of stuff. Like Pixies Debaser, that's one of them that was on there. But no, that's just like a great. I like that soundtrack. Like that's the first like football video game I ever got when I was a kid. So that one brings me back for sure.
All right, so we're gonna head to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna continue our discussion with DJP, Will Root, and Davis Carroll. I'm of course your host, Jack Hart. And we're going to come back in a few minutes with the final segment of the show. Keep that dial right here on WEGL 91.1 FM.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que Sanyu no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I help people solve difficult and trying personal problems every day on my TV show, but there's one problem that's just got me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. That's 1 in 5 kids who may not know where their next meal is coming from, despite the fact that there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food out there to feed them all. Now, I don't know about you, but that is unacceptable to me. Luckily, the Feeding America network of good people is out there collecting surplus food and giving hope to hungry children and their families at local food banks all across the country. But let's face it, they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM, WEGLFM.com, or watching live on YouTube, WEGL 91.1 on YouTube. However you may be joining us today, we thank you for spending your morning with the Compact Discourse crew. We've had a lot of fun today. We've talked about Img Academy playing that fake high school from Ohio. We've talked with Chris Smith, a.k.a. MC Aubie on Twitter, who is recreating Auburn, Alabama in the world of Minecraft. And for the past hour, I've been talking with DJP and Will Root, the heir apparents to the music realm here at WEGL, here on this WEGL Wednesday. It's a WEGL Wednesday, which means we have awesome programming all day long, especially at 7 and 8 p.m. when we got Woodstock Hour and Cheetah Print. If you want to take a trip back in time to the 1970s, get your hard rock, your classic rock, your acoustic rock, and your R&B, funk, soul, rhythm and blues, all of that good stuff. So keep that dial right here on WEGL all day long. And without further ado, I'm, of course, your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside JP, Will, and Davis for this final segment of this first day of September here on Compact Discourse. How are you guys feeling today? You excited about the outlook for this month?
I'm feeling pretty good, but I also got to give a shout out to Compact Discourse for being part of the WEGL Wednesday programming. I mean, what better way to start off the day than a morning drive time radio show? You know what I'm saying?
I hear you right there. And Mr. Billy this morning told me that a grad assistant was listening and said it was one of the favorite parts of his morning. So
that's what we do.
That just sweetened my tea this morning.
Man, that really did just sweeten my tea this morning. I'm not even gonna lie, mate. So do you want me to do Hat of the Day?
Yeah, let's jump right into it, and
So-
I might join you.
This hat right here is a 47 brand hat. My dad gave me this hat, and I've been wearing it not every single day since I've got it. I really need to wash it because this thing is kind of nasty right now. But I don't remember exactly when I got it. It's got a little clover on it, 3-leaf clover, because I like the color green. I'm not wearing any green today other than the hat, but I don't know. I make jokes saying that it's like my lucky hat, whatever, but it's really
Hilarious.
because it's got the yeah.
Brutal.
But I would wear it almost all the time whenever I had super long hair, because whenever you walk to campus with
Yeah.
long hair, like you got to have a hat on or you're
it's
gonna look
impossible.
like
Right
a
there with you.
ragamuffin. So what
Yeah, I
like
don't know the issue with that.
All right, so I'm currently donning my. Hope my hair looks okay. My Auburn engineering cap. It is also a lovely beige color, very neutral. You can wear it with anything.
Yeah,
It has
it's
the
a
Auburn
great
logo. You know, the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering word mark right there. It is manufactured by The Game, who has great, kind of throwback stuff. It's kind of like a 47. It's super floppy. It's a dad hat. You can wear it backwards really easily, as I've been doing for the past hour. It also
the low
has
profile.
The Game branding right there on the bill. So yeah, I really like this. I like repping my major. I'm an engineering major after all, so I gotta wear the Auburn engineering cap from time to time. And like I said, it's a nice neutral color. You can wear it with just about anything. So this is one of my go-tos. This is, if I had a baseball team of hats, this would be one of my starting pitchers.
That's a good way to describe that. That's kind of how I am with this one. This is like my star player hat right here. I mean, I've got a couple other ones that I'll rotate through. I really need to get my hat game up. I've got that cool Masters hat, but that's also from the year that Angel Cabrera won, and he kind of I don't know, he's kind of been up to no good, so I don't really wear that one all the time. And I don't really wear it when I play golf because it's like the same material. And if you wear a hat like this material when you're playing golf, you're gonna sweat through it.
You're gonna have a salty hat come hole number 18.
Exactly. And another thing I want to say about this hat is I used to never wear hats backwards. Like I just couldn't really, I don't know, I just never really got it. But this was like one of the first hats that I could wear backwards. I guess unironically might be the way that I would describe it, because I would do it as a joke, be like, hey, well, I don't even know where I'm going to go with that. But
All right, Davis, save us.
All right. So today's shirt, the third shirt of the day. Can you see it, Jack?
I can see it loud and clear.
Okay, so right here, I'm trying to keep the mic up. It's falling down. As you can see, we have Ichiro Suzuki right here, better known as Ichiro from Japan, a star player for the Seattle Mariners. Also played for the Yankees a little bit.
And Los Marlins.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he did, yeah. Number 51, arguably, I'd say arguably top 5 Mariner ever. I don't think that's arguable, actually. But what do you think, Jack? Is that a good take right there?
Yeah, that's a great take.
I got this at the Atelier. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I got this from Auburn Vintage on Instagram. Check them out. They're really cool. They mostly have Auburn stuff, but they have recently started to have some non-Auburn vintage stuff. Got this for a crisp $20. Went and picked it up the other day, and I'm actually recycling a fit. I was in this fit the other day, but not a lot of people saw it except Jack and Chris. So I'm recycling it. Like the shirt. Fits really well.
I like how it says Ichiro all the way around. That's pretty cool.
Mariners, there he is right there. You don't see his number, which I would have liked, because 51's a cool number to see on a jersey. Like a baseball. I mean, like, you could see his number on him, not on, like, the back. I don't like those type of shirts. But 51's a cool sports number you don't see very often. But, yeah.
Especially in that Mariners font.
That's the shirt of the day.
That's what we're up to. That's what we're wearing.
all right, so we got the hat of the day. We got shirt of the day. Oh, actually, now that Will's got Chacos on, I want to bring something up. So the Chacos with, like, the big toe strap, what do y'all think about that?
Oh, I have those on right now, actually. I have them tucked down. See?
So, okay.
Yeah.
Did you buy it with the big toe, like, on purpose? Or
I did not. I actually, I did. I liked the way that it looked, and I got these at Camp WEGL, actually, so, like, right before I came to school. And I started to wear them, like, with the big toe, and then I was walking around campus all day, and it just got really irritating. So I kind of just stepped on it, and now it's kind of flat. Like, it's become one with the bottom of the shoe.
Yeah.
So
I've never really been a big fan of the big toe strap. I honestly kind of hate it because, I mean, I don't really know. I don't want to just start hating on the Chacos, but I have just like the regular ones, and dude, I love my Chacos. Like during the summertime, I wear those all the time.
Oh yeah, it's so easy just to slip them on. Plus, I like never tighten my Chacos either. Like I wear them loose every single day. Like I'll just get out of bed, walking out. Just if I want to walk around like the backyard, or if I want to go do something like go to the store, like I just throw on some Chacos. Like it's just super easy to get around.
Yeah, for me it depends. I mean, I don't really mind strapping them up because it's not super difficult. But do you have Birkenstocks?
I do not know.
Dude, once you get a pair of Birkenstocks, your Chacos are gonna get a lot less time.
I might get into the market for some Birkenstocks. I have been thinking about it.
If you want a recommendation, I would just get it like a barely used pair on
Mhm.
Poshmark because you can find them there. Someone who's worn them like once or twice and barely even worn them outside, you can get them for like half price.
Mhm.
Like I know I got mine for less than $75, and they're normally I think like
nice.
above $100 or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They're like the perfect size. I've got a pretty skinny foot, so like the strap wasn't fitting super well at first, so I had to like make some new holes in the strap. But yeah, so okay. I also want to take some time to give a shout out to Keaton Silva. He's a new member of WEGL, and we've been trying to put some jazz music into our system. So thank you, Keaton, for donating some jazz music. We're gonna have some jazz music, hopefully rotating by the end of the week.
We got 3.2 gigabytes of jazz music now in
Yeah.
the system, or it will be in the system later. It's not in there yet. It's right now on my flash drive in the bullpen. So,
Oh yeah. We'll have some local music spinning here soon. We're waiting on Dylan to get with us about getting a couple gigabytes worth of some local music. So we'll have local and jazz rotating. We currently rotate indie music, rock music, country music, pop music, and like rap music.
Is it folk?
Yeah, well that's country and folk are like the
Might
same
be.
thing.
yeah, and then we have like the rap section at the end of the night, like right before midnight, and then it goes into yeah. I'm actually excited about the local music. I feel like one of the main reasons I actually got or I wanted to be the music director here is because I feel like a lot of the stuff we play is like we play just a lot of poppy music, or we have over the past few years. And I remember my first experience with WEGL was about I don't know, I want to say like maybe 8 years ago or so. I was here for a baseball game with my dad, and we were just driving. It was like a Sunday afternoon, and they were playing a bunch of like really, I guess maybe indie alternative type college music, and I was like, well, this is really cool. Like it's nice to go in and hear something that I wouldn't normally hear like on the radio, or if I get on Spotify, it's not like in the top 40 or anything. So I mean, like I'm really excited because local music doesn't get enough appreciation. Like you're not going to go in and listen to a bunch of Spotify from like bands who are around you. But it's really cool. Like I've seen a bunch of the bands who we're going to be putting on here, so it'll be nice to get a bunch of them out here and get them on the radio.
I'm hoping we can get that Stews EP on here. Because
Oh,
the
yeah?
Stews are good, man. I really hope that we can get some of their music rotating
great.
on here.
Yeah, so I guess it was either last year or the year before that. There was this guy I followed on Twitter. He was on Braves Twitter. So he actually ended up making a band. It's called Ugly Runner. They're from North Carolina, and so he had they released one song. So I sent him a DM on Twitter, and I was like, "Hey, is there any chance that you have like a MP3 of like your music?" So he sent me MP3 for like his whole album that he was like coming up to release. So I was actually the first person to ever play his band on the radio, and I still have a bunch of his MP3s that I'll be throwing into like I guess the local music section. We can throw it in
dude,
there.
we can do that right after this.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. Like just being on the radio gives you just a nice vehicle to kind of talk to bands and get them like playing out on the radio. Because I mean, it's really hard to get on the radio, especially with like top 40 music. That's what most stations are going to play. But with college radio, you get the privilege of actually being able to play some of the stuff that really isn't heard a lot.
Yeah, now that you're the music director, all the mail that comes in here is going to be addressed to you.
Oh, I can't wait for that. That'll be nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to do a quick weather report, quick recap of everything that's going on this week in WEGL and around campus, and then we're going to get out of here and let you get on with your first day of September. So, don't forget to pay your rent. It is the first of the month after all.
Actually, thank you for that. I needed that right there.
All right, currently in Auburn, Alabama, it is 79 degrees and fair outside. There's only a 4% chance of rain in the next hour or so. It's going to get up to 85 degrees, partly cloudy today. That is your high, low of 69, so a little bit cooler than usual on the plains. It is going to get up to about 80 and then 84 this afternoon, and then this evening it's going to be 74 degrees with thunderstorms likely rolling in as Tropical Storm Ida continues to move across the eastern seaboard. Overnight temperature is going to be 70 degrees with a little bit of chance of rain as well. Although Ida is gone, we are currently tracking Tropical Storm Larry has just formed off the coast of Africa, heading right towards the east coast of the United States. So we're going to continue to monitor that one. Hopefully it doesn't come anywhere close. But what happened to J and K? Like, Ida was like yesterday, and now we're back to Larry.
I don't even know.
I think they just go off what it sounds best.
I'm pretty sure
I
it's
can
alphabetical.
Would you like me to ask for you? Because no, I'm serious. My uncle owns a company that cleans up after hurricanes, so they're pretty knowledgeable on it. If you'd like to know.
All right, I'd like to know what the J and K storms were named.
I'll call my grandma after the show.
All right, so campus events. We have, of course, the open mic night tonight in the Harold Belton Student Center by the Starbucks. That is put on by UPC and our friends over at the Circle. That is from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Go to aub.ie/open mic night for more information about that one. Or if you want to join the lineup, it is an open mic night after all. So be sure to go to that one. Check out me and JP are going to be doing some MC work there. So if you can't get enough of us, head on over to the Student Center tonight at 6:30. And if you can't get enough of us, even more than that, you can tune into WEGL at 7 and 8 p.m. respectively for Woodstock Hour and Cheetah Print, which is Chris Tobias' show that I may just be featured on tonight. So get ready for that. Also, if you are in the mood for a movie as the rain continues to pour, Mortal Kombat will be shown in the Melton Student Center Ballroom Thursday, September 2nd at 7:30 p.m. There's probably going to be some snacks and drinks there as well as at previous UPC events. Also, we're going to look at WEGL Stages is once again happening this week. It's always on Thursday nights. So that is at 5 p.m. on the Cater Lawn. Sage is the artist on that one. And if you want more information about that, tune into the show tomorrow. I've got Dylan, who is the man, the myth, the legend behind Auburn Stages. He's responsible for getting it set up every week. He's going to come on and sell you what is exactly going to go down tomorrow night on Cater Lawn at 5 p.m. Any closing thoughts you guys have for today?
What should I get for lunch?
It's only 10 a.m.
Oh, my gosh.
With that Chick-fil-A line, if you want it at lunchtime, you better punch
that's
in now.
No, I got my
let
Chick-fil-A
me
for
throw in a little bit more stuff. I'm actually going to hop on the automation system right after this is over. So if you want to tune in for some rock music picked out by yours truly, feel free to tune in. You can even call in with some requests at 334-844-9345. Stay safe, Auburn. Go get vaccinated. Wear your mask. Eat healthy foods. Go to class.
Go to the gym.
There we go. Yeah.
Drink water.
Oh,
yeah, drink water. Just a friendly reminder.
I got my water right
Listen
here.
to this right here. You hear that?
Refreshing.
That's so refreshing.
All right. So I want to thank once again Chris Smith for coming on the show and talking to me about Auburn Minecraft. That was an awesome segment. If you didn't get a chance to hear that one, check out our podcast. It's going to be uploaded right after this. Should be up by around noon, or you can watch the video on demand on the YouTube page. But other than that, I have been your host, Jack Hart, and I've been joined by Davis Carroll, DJP, Will Root, and Grayson Moyer, who's been in the background of Will's camera for about the past hour, working hard to keep the station from not falling apart.
Doing a very good job back there.
So thank you so much for listening to this exciting episode of Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. However you joined us today, whether that be from your terrestrial radio antenna, WEGLFM.com, or listening to our podcast. We would like to remind you that all of our previous episodes are available as a podcast, commercial-free, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Compact Discourse. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at CDiscAU. That's at CDISCAU for links to the podcast, important information about the show, and updates. You can also just tweet at us to get your conversation on the show. We want to hear your opinion and feedback. We are Auburn's only student-run morning show. You might want to go ahead and follow WEGL on Twitter and Instagram at WEGL_AU. That's WEGL_AU. Our marketing team is working super hard to provide you daily content Monday through Friday. And with that, for Jack Hart, Davis Carroll, DJP, and Will Root, this has been another episode of Compact Discourse. We wish you a great rest of your Wednesday and September. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. War Eagle.